So Vortex, if you want ultimate freedom in your car, you have to listen to the blinky sound 91 times. Because 91 times will it try to remind you that you're a horrible person for not wearing your seatbelt. But they can kiss my ass, okay? Now, I'm sure in the future they're gonna build cars where it won't even start if you don't have your seatbelt on. Now, there are definitely ways that you can trick this thing, because if I were to put my seatbelt on and then like put it behind me so that I wouldn't be strapped in, but it would still be in the little clinker thing, that's a way to do it. Now, whenever I do wear my seatbelt, I never wear it right anyway. I was told that by a police officer. So I've been cited twice. And he mentioned that. He said, the last time that you were cited, it was for not wearing a seatbelt, and now you're wearing it, but you're not even wearing it right. And I was like, yeah, dude, I fucking hate seatbelts. Obviously. But I'm willing to fight to the death, man. And it's really not the seatbelt itself that I have so much of a problem with. It's more of the issue that they want to control the things that I do or don't do in the confines of my own vehicle. And then they want to act like it's for my safety. Now, I think that we all know pretty damn well, because of, you know, extended efforts that this government has made to pretend that they're protecting us, that the government really does not give a fuck about our well-being. So I have a hard time believing that seatbelts are any different. And the fact that if there's any sort of criticism whatsoever for them, if people are seriously injured by them, same thing with the airbags, they're so quick to say seatbelts save lives. So they have to cover their tracks immediately. That's how you know right away that it's a bunch of junk. Because if they're covering their tracks before they even tell you that something went wrong, then obviously they're being paid off, okay? Like, they have to say these things to go along with, you know, the manufacturers of the vehicles, but it's mainly the government. But if you do enough research about enough various subjects, you will be like a hardcore, you know, like top of the totem pole conspiracy theorist. Now, I'm not suggesting that way of life, because it's definitely not for everybody. As we've seen, most people can't handle this type of information. They're so upset, they're so angry, they can't believe that this is happening in their America. This is not your country. It was never your country. It's the Illuminati's country. Okay? Adam Weishaupt founded the Illuminati shortly after the Declaration of Independence was signed. And he was a fucking Jesuit, okay? So this whole idea that we're free is kind of ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that's their headquarters anyway. It's like fucking Britain, right? I really don't want to talk about it because it just makes me sick to my stomach. But it's just kind of dumb that people think what they think about the world, you know, because I know that it's not just America, but the reason why I go so hard in America is because it's the country that I live in, and the fact that people don't realize that with every bit of freedom that we have, that's always like a sacrifice, okay? Like, and it's not the sacrifice that they tell us that it is. So they can keep going on and on about how like people died for this shit. Yeah, children died for this shit. Children that were like raped and sodomized and tortured and all that. Yeah, they died for this shit. Not your grandpappy. No, honey. He was just jibby-jabbed. He was jibby-jabbed, and then the military sent his family, your family, a letter saying that he died in combat, but really, he was just a guinea pig for the pharmaceutical companies, much like all the people are now. whether they realize it or not. Just because you chose not to take this particular monstrosity of a vaccine doesn't mean that you're not still a guinea pig of the pharmaceutical companies. I mean, how many people take ibuprofen? I mean, all this stuff is bad for us. Because if you take like a natural herb, you're not going to have all these side effects. You're not supposed to have side effects from medicine. So they have to call holistic doctors quacks. It used to be the other way around until John D. Rockefeller got involved and made the whole thing about money. But like I've said, it's not just about money, it's about control. But anyway, you can just do little teeny tiny things to make yourself more free, you know, like not wearing your seatbelt, for example. Shit like that. It might not seem like a big deal, or it might seem kind of silly to you, but I take my bodily autonomy very seriously, okay? And obviously, like, I'm willing to deal with the negative consequences of that. You know, like, the last accident that I had, I really, like, bounced around the vehicle. But I didn't get a neck injury. And it seems like every single person that gets T-boned, they get a severe neck injury. Which makes sense. If you think about it, if they're strapped into the vehicle and your airbag deploys and hits you in the face, why wouldn't you get a neck injury? Come the fuck on. So of course both of these things are required by law. You don't think that that has anything to do with like the chiropractors or the doctors or all the money that they can make off of that? So that's why this country is the worst. Because like they've found so many different ways to exploit people and have them thinking that they're safer. They found so many different ways to exploit people and have them thinking that they're more free when actually they're just more enslaved. Now, I love and appreciate my vehicle, okay? I really do. I realize that there is somewhat of a slave aspect to like owning a car, because then, you know, you have to take care of it, make sure that the wheels aren't falling off and the engine's running right, and general upkeep. Gasoline, you know, gasoline. I know a lot of people are bitching about that right now. I keep seeing at this local gas station up the street from my house, like every time that I go to get gas, like there's like a Joe Biden sticker on the gas pump. It's just a picture of Joe Biden and it says, "I did that." The next time that I get gas, I'll have to show y'all. I'll have to remember. But yeah. You see, that's an example right there of somebody being political in a way that makes sense. You know? Spreading their political messages in random places to let people know how disgruntled they are. Rather than voting, because voting obviously doesn't work. You know? Everybody knows that motherfucker's illegitimate. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys this thing though, just to let you know what isn't illegitimate. Speaking of spreading good political messages, this little girl put up all of these little post-its all over the bathroom. Apparently, they took them all down, but there was one that was still in the little, what do you call it? That little box for the products for women, you know, the vaginal stuff. Yep, it's pretty cool. That's a good woman right there. That's a woman that's not going to burn in hell, which is very, very rare.